Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Luke, joined by very special guest, Matt Rain, a U of A alum. Matt's going to have 35 degrees by the time this is all done. Matt, what are you doing right now before we get started? Just fill people in a little bit.
What am I doing right now? Well, I graduated
Yes.
law school from GW Law last May. I graduated from University of Arizona, of course, in
Back in
2019,
the A.
and always back in the A. And I'm here right now in DC. It's 1:30 a.m., but I had to stay up to watch Arizona get the dub against ASU, and really glad I did, because always nice to see Bobby Hurley lose at McHale one more time.
All right, we got a lot to get to this show. First, listen, Arizona. I always go back and forth with this. This was a poo performance. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But Arizona is still projected to be a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament, and you have a top 3 seed locked in the Big 12. So we need to put that there. But Matt, there's just way too many times in games like this where it just feels like Arizona doesn't play hard especially on defense.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, because I think the guys tonight knew that they could score on ASU anytime they wanted. And I think because they knew that, they just didn't really try. I think ASU, to their credit, they played hard. They, made some good shots, but it's just one of those games where we just didn't put them away. And I want to contrast that to a team like Duke, right?
Yes.
And they put teams away. I mean, they beat Miami by 40. They beat Wake Forest by 37. I mean, that's a team that plays hard the entire game. We don't necessarily have that. Obviously, it's a bit too late to figure it out now, but you just kind of have to hope for the best come March, right?
Yeah, and that's just kind of what it is. But I think, Matt, the part that's so frustrating about this, and Jesse Bridges in the comments, this is MNBA style defense. Yes. The problem, though, for me, though, is that it looked like Arizona had turned the corner. I mean, we were talking about this about a month ago or something, talking about how this is this is a tough team. Again, it's not the most talented team in the world, but there's just so many lapses. And, I was talking with somebody during the game, and he said, you kind of get the sense that if a team just kind of moves the ball around enough, they're just going to get a wide open 3. And that's what happened throughout the game. It was maddening.
Yeah, it happened way too often. And I think the glass half full answer, Mike, is, you're hoping that come March, come the tournament, the guys really ratchet it up and they're able to play consistently for 40 minutes.
Right.
But the problem is that when you build these habits throughout the season where you're on and off and on and off, and look, the reality is that Arizona still has a top 20 Ken Pom defense, right? This is not some team that is not capable of playing excellent defense. But if you just switch off for a moment in March, it can all go south for you, as we've seen before. And you just hope that this team doesn't have those mental lapses come March, and specifically March Madness.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, too, is that with ASU, you also know what they're going to do. Like, they're just going to come in and just jack up a bunch of threes. They're not going to – there really isn't anything that's, that's secretive about what Bobby Hurley. It's not like this is some next-level, like, tactician where you're like, oh, man, I didn't see that coming from Bobby Hurley. You knew what was going to happen. And, I mean, let's just go kind of player by player here. Alston Mason kind of got – and I wanted to ask you this. Jaden Bradley, for the majority of this season, has been Mr. Steady, Mr. Reliable. But this has been this last 5-6 games. He's had a really hard time staying in front of players. Where are you with him when it comes to this? Because he was kind of, like I said, he was kind of Mr. Reliable.
I think he's tired, man. I mean, I think for people who have played basketball before over the course of a season, but then, at another level in college, those games wear on you. I mean, it's wear and tear. And when Jaden Bradley is the primary ball handler for 37 minutes a game over the course of a season in the Big 12,
Agreed.
this is not Weenie Hunt Jr., right? This is not no weenies in the Pac-12. This is Big 12 basketball. That, I think, is one of the key issues with Jaden. And that's why I thought it was good in the first half, right? Tommy got Conrad in for a little bit, who I thought was effective, but man, I don't know if you have the same read about Jaden and why he's struggling, but
I agree with you entirely. And that's on Tommy. Listen, like, I like Tommy Lloyd a lot. He's far from perfect, obviously, but that's on Tommy. If you go into this season and you basically have one ball handler on the team, You know, that's going to, especially going into the Big 12, we're not playing, we're not playing the Cals and the Stanfords and the Washington States and the Catalina foothills of the, oh, shout out right there. But you knew going into the year, and you didn't really have you didn't really have a ball handler outside of a Jaden Bradley. And I think that was a big miscalculation, honestly.
It was. And you wonder, Mike, if Tommy thought that Conrad was going to be that guy, and you thought he was going to make the next step. And, obviously Tommy has not believed this season that Conrad's the guy. And so moving forward, that's an issue. But listen, right now you just got to manage his minutes as much as you can. And my fear with the Big 12 tournament, and I think we've seen this in past seasons, is that if you go through those 3 games, and let's say you play, Kansas, you play Texas Tech, you play Houston back to back before the tournament, man, those are 3 bruising, tough games. Right. And, Lute Olson back in the day hated the Pac-10 tournament, right? He hated it. And I don't blame him, because, it's just, it presents a lot of problems when you're playing that many games.
Right, and that's why I think it's important. Arizona, now there is some good stuff here. Arizona has a top 4 seed, or probably it's locked in as a top 3, possibly a 2. So that means that you don't have to play like 9 games in 3 days or whatever some of those schools are going to have to do. But the thing about it too, Brad Ridge, can we talk about Tom Ford readers before these Tom Ford glasses that we got from Arizona Primary Eye Care? Look at these things, Matt. I see you, Matt.
Great place.
I was going to say, when you're arguing next time you're arguing a case, you could look at these and say, man, I wish I was like Mike Luke right there.
Yeah. I've been to Arizona Primary Eye Care. Great place.
Yeah.
And,
really? Nice.
When I was back in Tucson living there, that's where I went. So good people. And
excellent. We like that. Yeah.
And glad they're a friend of the show. There we go.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now let's get to the Green Valley Decorative Rock star of the game. My Sean Connery of Green Valley Decorative Rock. All right. This is a really easy one. It's Henry Vasar. Matt Rain, I don't think you're going to disagree with me. It's Henry Vasar.
It's got to be Henry. I think second potentially is Tobe, just because of the effort that he put in on the glass. But Henry, I mean, listen, what was career high for him, 22 points. Really amazing to see his development, his progression. And, again, we talk about this would not have happened if Mo Crevis did not get injured. So for him to evolve the way he has, my bad, Henry. It's really phenomenal.
Yeah. And let's be honest here. The people that are like, Tommy Lloyd, he can't develop talent. He can't do anything, this and that. Look at no further than Henry Vasar. Now, you might say, Mike Luke, you're the intellectual lowest common denominator. Well, I don't know if that's right or not, but I didn't see it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you did, but I didn't really see it. This guy's turned into a possible MNBA prospect here, Matt Rain.
Absolutely. I mean, Fran Fraschilla was going on for a while about him with VJ Edgecombe, as we remember that conversation.
He can only he's not sure, Matt, how good he can be yet.
Right, he's not sure. But Henry absolutely has first round potential. Can stretch the floor, can continue. I mean, that last 3-point shot wasn't his best effort, but yes, he is absolutely the player of the game for me. Yeah. And he's going to be so important come tournament time. I mean, a guy that Arizona needs to play well.
He's also kind of the guy, too, that, I mean, he gives Arizona doesn't have a huge margin for error this year. It feels like everything that, everything's got to go right against good teams to win. But he's kind of that one guy that if a shot doesn't fall, he can get the rebound. He dunks the ball. He can alter shots. He just does a lot of really different things. And he shoots 3-pointers, Matt Rain.
He does. Well, I'll tell you, Mike, I don't know if you know this or saw this recently, but Henry Vasar is the, I believe, 21st most impactful defensive player in the country, according to Evan Mia. And, it goes to show that when you have a rim protector like that and someone who is agile and athletic, who can contest shots and just reach, that impacts the game in so many ways. And so, again, evidenced by him being so highly rated defensively. Really great stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about Tobe for a second. Now, again, the man of girth. I was wrong. People are making fun of me for drinking root beer. What's wrong with root beer? I like root beer. I will make no apologies for root beer. You can see the comments, right, Matt?
Yes, I can. I can.
Yep. We had, I think it was Sheer for the longest time that didn't know that he could see the comments.
Switch over, right?
Yeah, and then when he looked at it, he's like, "Holy moly, there's people talking to us." Yeah, every now and then it's cool.
That's funny.
Tobe Awaka, the man of girth, though, I was totally wrong on him. I lumped him in. I tried calling him one of the twins. I apologize. I should have never done that. He is not like Trey Townsend. Although Trey Townsend played pretty well today. I'm going to give him that. I will give him that. But man, Tobe plays hard, dude. Like, yeah, and when he falls to the ground, that is a girthquake. I mean, he is a he is. I mean, Matt, I can't really remember a guy like, yeah, right. I think it's pretty funny too. Yes. I can't really remember a player like him here though. Like in a long time. I mean, somebody tried to bring up like Ira Lee. This guy's a billion times better than Ira Lee. Get out of here with that weak stuff. Yes.
Not even close. Not even Listen, every young player who plays basketball and who wants to learn how to rebound should watch Tobe Awaka. It's like a thing of beauty. I mean, way, you go back and watch the clips from this game or throughout the season, the way that he's able to locate the ball while he's in the air and clear space, and it goes beyond just being able to box out. I mean, it's instinctual. I did not see that coming earlier in the year, but it's one of the reasons why Arizona turned their season around. And listen, come, the next couple of weeks, come, into March, you need him to grab as many boards, obviously, as possible. And I think he's up to the test.
Yeah, Matt Muehlbach, that a loser. He made a pretty good point. Yeah, what does that guy know? He made a pretty good point. Everybody talks about Steph Curry and how he has the gravity with him, about how, and players chase him around everywhere. He said Tobe Awaka is kind of the exact opposite, and that the gravity that he brings in the paint, and that everybody seems to just kind of be hanging on him, and then when he falls, like 5 people fall down with him, in a girthquake.
It's a girthquake. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. But there is something to that. Like, he's just always around the ball, and I mean, when he gets that rebound, to give a personal joke that you and I wrote, he deserves that rebound.
He deserves that rebound. That's right.
Yeah,
he deserves that rebound. You're right. I mean, the ball's just not like, sometimes when Trey gets a board, and you're right, I want to give him some credit. He played,
for Trey. How about this? We have a sliding scale for Trey. This was a good game. How about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. For Trey, it was a good game.
For Mike Luke, it was a good game. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But for Trey's, but you notice sometimes the ball just kind of falls to him, and then he grabs the rebound. But man, when you look at Tobe and he's going up and grabbing the ball, that's when you've got a dude who's just gonna grab boards, and Arizona needs that.
And when he grabs it, you're not getting away from it. Yes. Now, Curious Scheme, I agree with what you're saying, but we're just, it is what it is. We got to, I've been really hard on the guy all year, so I'll give it to you like that. Okay, Mr. Tyler Warden, the great Mr. Tyler Warden says, here's a question for you. Who played outright badly in a game where you give up 100 points? I don't think anyone in particular played badly collectively. We were just lax on D. That, to me, is the problem, is that it was just lax, man. When you're giving up, ASU sucks. We can be honest here. And when ASU's going like 12 of 20 from 3-point range, the only thing it does is make people like Red Wines happy. We can't let that happen. Come on.
No, I mean, again, going back to Arizona, I think was certainly lax on defense because they knew they could score any time. It's not an excuse. It's just the reality. And Tyler, to your question, I don't think anyone played badly per se. I just think that there was the moment where ASU closed the gap to 3, and Mike, you tweeted, "This is embarrassing." And I think in the huddle, Tommy probably told them the same thing. I would be very surprised.
Mike Luke said this is embarrassing. We need to adjust accordingly.
That's right. He said Mike Luke is tweeting about how embarrassing you all are, and KJ, you got to tweet him after the game and make sure that he knows.
Yeah.
Actually, Mike, I wanted to ask you a question about KJ, and it's something that I've been thinking about throughout the year. To me, and listen, I love KJ, great player.
I know where you're going with this, and I
plays with a lot of passion and emotion. Sometimes I think his passion and emotion gets the best of him, and it takes away from his game. Is that something that you see too?
Dude. From your mouth to God's ears, I totally agree with you. There are so many times, and again, I like KJ. I know that KJ is, KJ's gone after me on Twitter. I don't care. I am not going to back down from the guest room of my house, Matt Rain. Yes, well, you're playing Division I basketball. But yes, there are some times where it just feels like it's like he's going 1-on-4, or the fouling of the 3-point shooters is just something that's absurd. There's a stat that I saw, and I don't know who said it, and I believe it's accurate though, that he's fouled more 3-point shooters than all but like 12 teams in all of Division I basketball this year. I mean, that's just things that you just can't do. But it just yes, it feels like he just tries to do too much, because when he just lets the game come to him, when he finishes around the basket, when he gets rebounds, when he takes 2 or 3 dribbles and just does his thing, but when he starts dribbling, when he starts trying to act like Allen Iverson and the ball goes off his foot or whatever the case may be, that's where it's just like, man, what are we doing right here? Yes, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think too, Mike, we can separate this out into kind of game mistakes and game decisions and maybe more kind of mental processes or attitude, right? And so listen, it's okay to make mistakes. And if you're playing as hard as he does, you're going to make mistakes, right? It happens.
Agreed.
But how you respond to that, I think kind of is an indicator of where your mind is on the court. And honestly, I think this goes for any player. When you make a mistake or something happens, or you never want to get too high or too low, right?
Right.
I think sometimes he gets into that range, and hopefully with age and maturity, he'll get there and he'll kind of level out. Right. But for this team, hopefully the older guys through March can kind of keep him in check.
All right, I want to talk about Caleb Love here in a second, because there's a lot that we can get to here. Red Wines, if you're watching, I'm sure you think that Josan Sanon is the next Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You are wrong. Okay, let's see here. 100 at McHale is insane. Mr. Lou, 499 Super Snap. Yeah, bring him in. All right, yeah, bring us your money. Appreciate you, Norin Rudin. 100 at McHale. McHale, interesting spelling. I like it. Is insane. Mr. Luke's effort is the highlight of the nights. Cats were disappointing. I would agree with all of that. Plus, we had another Super Snap. Hey, bring in the Super Snap. Or is it Cody? Where's the other Super Snap at? Let's see here. Super Snap. John 99, his girthness was merely a twin 2 months ago. 2 girthy twins. That sounds dirty. All right, now hold on. We got a couple things we got to get to. All right, now it is time for the signature Pest Solutions Pest of the game. Well, being that Arizona chose not to play defense, really, where would you put the Pest of the game at, Matt Rain? I'm gonna let you go with this for. No,
does it have to be an Arizona player? Yeah, listen,
yes.
I think anytime Bobby Hurley comes to McHale, he's my Pest of the game.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I don't know what the odds would have been for Bobby to get a tech, but you would have. I mean, if I were a betting man, I mean, you would have made a lot of money, because
that's minus 280.
Yeah, that's right. And so when Bobby comes to McHale, he's my Pest of the game. Maybe the Pest will now be extinguished because
exterminated by Signature Pest Solutions is coming in and saying, listen, there's way too much stuff to eradicate in the ASU program in that school. It's a cesspool. But guess what? Signature Pest Solutions, they are taking care of everything they can on the ground. The Pest of the game. I agree with you. I'm going with Bobby Hurley. Hopefully this is Bobby Hurley's last game. You know what's funny about Bobby Hurley? I've actually talked with Bobby Hurley a few times, and he's actually a pretty decent guy, like off, But man, at what point do you ever look yourself in the mirror? And I mean, you're going to be the governor of the state and then possibly the president at some point, Matt. But do you ever what point do you just look in the mirror and be like, man, I look like a putz. What am I doing out there? I look like an idiot. I don't get it. For a guy that's clearly not stupid, where are we with that?
It's embarrassing, I think, as a coach to do that. And again, listen, Bobby Hurley has played at the highest level. He's coached, D1. We're not there. We're not him. I totally get it. Mm-hmm. But if I were a college player and I'm choosing someone to go, and actually I had a tweet about this, and my top 2 that I didn't want to play for were Bobby and Dan Hurley. But listen, I want my coach?
Mick Cronin? You're signing up for Mick Cronin?
Mick Cronin's number 3. Mick Cronin was number 3. But I don't. Mention. But I don't want to play for petulant coaches. Right. And I think Tommy, obviously an amazing coach. I think sometimes he could have a little bit more fire and a little bit more kind of oomph. But Bobby, way too much.
Right. Oh, all right. Hey, guys, everybody in the fight. Hey, guys, you guys are all cool. We don't need to have fights in the chat. Curious Skeeb, you're the man. Very much appreciate you. All you guys in here, let's just, again, we're still Arizona fans at the end of the day. Hey, if anything, Listen, I'm the dweeb here. Make fun of me. Don't make fun of each other. Make fun of me. I am the one that deserves to be made fun of. I am a dork. Everybody, target your next criticism at Mike Luke. We'll make it work from there. How about that? Okay. Mess with the paw, you get the glove. You know the drill around here. By the way, Matt, you know stuff. Who operates the U of A Barstool account? Do you know this?
No, man. I mean, listen, it's way past my time. I knew the person
Yeah,
who did
I
it
know.
back when I
Well,
graduated, but I saw they had some reference to
yeah,
you,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mess with the paw, you get the glove. They stole my term. Yeah, and that
They
term makes
did.
no sense. That's how I know that they. That's
They
how I
took
know
it.
that. Yes, they took it.
Did you get
All
some
right, Kate.
royalties off that or what?
Yes. I know I didn't get anything out of it. Yes. So, all right. Mike Luke bowls with an 8-pound ball. Come on, keep it going. Curious Skeeb Lyle, start making fun of me. Come on, make fun of me. I'm the one that deserves it. Okay. Let's talk Caleb Love here for a second. There's a lot of people that are in here and saying, well, I want, I wish we had Joson St. on. Jason, to me, there's a no. There's two arguments. Like I keep getting like red wines. I'm just gonna keep making fun of him because he deserves it. But he keeps saying, oh, well, he's a projected second-round pick this year. I don't care. That means nothing to me if a guy is a... Guess what? Pella Larson was a second-round pick last year. Cody Williams was a top 10 pick. Guess what? Pella Larson was better in college. I will take that. And that's kind of where I'm at with the St. On thing. I don't care if he's the projected 47th pick. Right now, this year... Caleb Love is a better basketball player. One dude is a man, the other one is a boy. 5 years from now, it's probably going to be different. But, Matt, I don't understand this argument where they're like, oh, he's a projected better NBA player. I don't care.
I don't think people have an understanding, Mike, of what it means to be a good college basketball player. It
Right.
is separated from NBA potential. And
Right.
we talk about this all the time where, guys, as you said, with Cody Williams, guys will get drafted in the top 10, top 15 of the draft and have, score like 7 points a game in college. Again, NBA teams are drafting based on potential. So for this year, it's already been litigated, but
Yeah.
through all the ups and downs, I'm
Litigated.
still
Your
really,
lawyer. I like it. I like it.
But through all the ups and downs, I'm still glad we have Caleb on this team, right? Aren't you?
Yeah,
I mean,
I am
listen,
too.
it's if we play March and we lose, and it is what it is. But we ride or die with Caleb at this point. Your Caleb, my Caleb,
my Caleb.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
All right. Yeah, curious Skeeb. No, I'm saying I understand being upset about the game. Make fun of the game. Make fun of me. Just guys, let's leave it there. But again, like with Caleb Love, the other thing too, I think people have this expectation that, and again, I wasn't whoever was in there that was asking about Caleb. It is what it is. When you're in college basketball for 5 years, you are far from you're in college. You're in college basketball for 5 years for a reason. Nobody chooses to be in there. But at the same time, this is what it is. You're gonna sink or swim. And I always bring this up. If you didn't have Caleb Love on this team, would this team be better? No. I mean, look at last year. Where would Arizona have been last year without Caleb Love? I mean, so yes, I get it. He's far from perfect. I get he's a lightning rod, but I also just don't. I don't understand just the vitriol that is directed towards him. I guess that's where I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, I think it comes because when you are the leader of the team and you're supposed to be this scorer. Hey, shout out Ezra for
Ezra,
the
$4 super
sticker.
sticker snap. Yeah.
Thanks
we
for
love
launching.
Ezra. Ezra's the man.
Of course, he's the best. He is the
Yes.
best. But when you're the leader of the team, you're going to get the fire from fans, from coaches, from everyone, and I think he's handled it well. One of the most tired narratives, and I'm sure you've heard this. Guys like Jeff Goodman, etc., will talk about, oh, Caleb, takes such bad shots. He does this, he does that. That's not really been the case the last couple of years at Arizona. That's not really been the case this year. He's missed a lot of
missed shots.
Good shots, right? And that's part of basketball. You miss some, you make some. But he's playing within himself. I believe tonight he had no turnovers. And by the way, Mike, I think one of the most impressive stats from the game, we had 0 turnovers in the first half. Zero.
And only 4. Yeah, and that's something too, because generally when we lose, we end up doing stupid things where we throw the ball. That is probably my biggest pet peeve on this entire team is when you get the ball at like the 3-point line. And guess what? Watch this. We're going to throw the ball and, ooh, it's going back that way for a dunk every single time down the court. It drives me up a wall. All right, now let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, Mr. Tyler Warden. Where would we have been last year without Caleb Love? The winning press conference after beating Clemson. We would not have gotten to that game without. Does Arizona make the tournament last year without Caleb Love?
I think they make the tournament, but they're definitely not a 2 seed. And I mean, you're right about the Clemson game, right? He was off, but
he was terrible in that. Yeah,
you know, but who's to say? I mean, if Caleb is not playing that game, Arizona even wins. I mean, what that got PJ Hall, right? That was the Clemson guy's name. He torched us. That was nothing to do with Caleb. He just absolutely destroyed us.
I mean, we had a center right there that was terrified to shoot free throws. He was barely even hitting the rim. We're like a 9 seed without him. I'm just making jokes for LOLs. Mr. Tyler Warden, that was funny. You know what's funny when I see some of these people in person, how like tall they are. Like Mr. Tyler Warden's only like 6'3", but he looked like he was like 7'3". I'm like looking up at him like this.
Only 6'3". That's pretty dang tall.
Only 6'3". Oh yeah, look at this. Girthquake. What? Dennis Walsh, 499, super snap. Very much appreciate it. Jerry Reyes in there as well, the great Jerry Reyes. All right, yeah, KJ Lewis. I don't want him to ever shoot threes. That is fair. Curious Skeeb, you were spot on about this. No, ever. No, don't need. I'll take Jaden. That is one thing. Do not shoot threes. Maybe next year. Right now, don't shoot threes. That's kind of where I'm at with that. Yes, I would totally agree with that. Matt Rain, I see you agreeing with me. This is true.
Yeah, that is true. You know, it's so tough because he's wide open. But man, there's a reason at the D1 level that guys leave you wide open. And I think KJ understands this, right? I mean, he's not dumb. He knows that he's not a high percentage shooter from 3, and he usually tries to drive, but just even on those open shots, he is just,
I'll put it to you like
a
this.
sub 15% shooter. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll put it to you like this. The worst athlete I think I've ever seen in my life is Ben One White. I've seen Ben try to shoot a 3-point shot. Ben will never make the 3-point shot. Ben has as much chance of getting the shot to go in as KJ Lewis.
I gotta defend Ben. Ben played high school football. That's pretty athletic.
For Coach Skurin. Yeah, Jeff Skurin. Oh yeah. Was it Rhett Rod your guy's high school quarterback?
He was. Rhett Rod was the high school quarterback. But
yes.
But Ben, no, but listen, I'm
just giving Ben a hard time. Ben's not here to defend himself. That's why I'm taking advantage of it.
Would KJ, who would win in a 3-point contest is the question.
KJ.
Yeah, probably.
For sure. KJ. Probably. Ben's a football player, not a basketball player. You know what? And that's just something that's okay. KJ is 9 for 53 from 3. I didn't realize it was that awful. Wow, John Taylor. And I think the bigger problem is, Red Wines keeps going at me. This is great. Oh, yes, this is great. Yeah, he's all liquored up right now. You know that somebody, when they get that liquid courage and your name's Red Wines, that guy's drinking a lot of wine right now. But let's see here. KJ, the problem with KJ, though, is when he shoots the 3, that they don't, like, rim in and go out. It's like, bang! And it's like heading off to Mars or something. That's the, I think that's a little bit more of the issue. There's like no chance that ball is going in.
Yeah. When you compare a guy like Carter, right. And you see his
every shot looks like it's going in.
So pure. And even when it misses, it's so pure. KJ, not so much, but it's something to work on. And I still really like his game.
I think he brings a lot of good stuff to the table. It's just some things that are just frustrating that are okay. Now let's talk a little bit then about, hold on. We've got to pay some more bills. What do we got coming up next, Cody? Bring it up. What do we got next? The RJ's frozen cactus moment of the game. Where do we want to go with the moment of the game? I'm going to go with when ASU cut it to 3 and then Arizona pushed it back up to 10. I don't know if there was a moment in there, but Matt, I'm going to go with 4 sequences of a moment. How about this?
I like that. No, I think that's appropriate. The guys responded well to the timeout that Tommy called. I think my moment of the game is Tobe Awaka basically just flicking Bobby Hurley Jr. off of him.
Oh, that was great.
Like he was a fly.
Yes.
And Bobby Hurley Jr. turns to the refs and he's like, "Oh, what happened? Why was that a foul?" You're all over him, man. I mean,
you're all over him, dude. Yeah,
but
seriously.
But Tobe grabbing the rebound around 4 ASU guys and just didn't no elbows, no one just shook him off. And then going up, that's my moment of the game. But there are a couple good moments.
Yeah, I would go with that as well. I'm going to go with like a sequence of moments. That will be the RJ's Frozen Cactus. By the way, we're having our watch party this Saturday, 2 o'clock against Kansas, my friends. Matt Rain will be, he will probably be in court. Are there court dates on Saturdays? Are there ever court dates on Saturdays or no?
I'm sure there are for special courts, but
Right. You won't be
yeah.
litigating on Saturday though, correct?
No. But I'll be in DC and enjoying from the comfort of my couch. But
you deserve all of that. Yes, you deserve this. All right, now let's see here. All right, now I got to give an AZ Wildcat fan. This guy was trying to tell me all year about the Trey Townsend was better than Tobe Awaka. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, man, you're just wrong. But you know, like when you see somebody, like it's like when you see like a kid that's coming up to you and you just know you're either young or there's like something and you're like, you just want to like pat him on the head. That was basically what I was doing with AZ Wildcat fan. Sooner or later, he came around that Tobe Awaka is the man. You're welcome, AZ Wildcat fan. But I will say this. I don't understand why it's so hard for Corey Williams to call him Tobe. He was calling him Toby the whole game. Like I said, I don't want to keep turning this into something. Corey Williams is an alum of the U of A. He went here. I don't know why he has such a hard time pronouncing players' names that are not difficult. It's Tobe. It is not Toby.
He got Henry's name right tonight.
He got Henry's name right today. Yeah,
it's one step in the right direction, and now we have one more to go.
I just don't get it.
I don't know. Right. And he lives in Tucson. I mean, he said tonight in the broadcast, he lives in Tucson. I'm sure he's very familiar with the team, and I don't know.
All right. Oh, by the way, Lan Allen, yes. Oh, Lan Allen, Lan the man with the master plan, yes, from Aeris Dental. Let's see here. We have an Aeris Dental. Let's get in right. Yeah, let's get the Aeris Dental in right now. Hey, Matt Rain, do you know anybody that? Do you know anybody that needs dental implants?
I don't, but I know where to send them now.
Yes, Aeris
Dental. That's right.
And guess what? Generally, if you want to get a dental implant, they're either like $10,000 here, or you have to go to like Belize or like Peru or like the Andes Mountains, and you don't know what they're putting in your cheeks or whatever they're doing. And here they got the championship special, 1997, and you get the crown as well. Yummy, yummy with that crown in the tummy. All right, back the Aeris. Look ahead, Arizona, Kansas. I believe that Arizona can beat Kansas in Kansas, and I believe that. You know what? I'm going to call my shot right now, Matt Rain. I am going to do it. I am going to say that Arizona is going to go into Lawrence, Kansas on Senior Day, and I am back in the A. I believe that they're going to beat Kansas. What say you?
Yes, but it depends what Kansas team shows up, man. I mean, I think that the Kansas team that showed up against Houston, they're battled.
Pretty good. Yeah, they battled.
They played well. Or, the Kansas team that showed up against BYU or against, I think Kansas has a problem where usually they will beat the teams they're supposed to. They lose to teams they're not supposed to, or they're losing teams they're supposed to. I think Arizona, if I had to put money on it, I think Arizona wins. Henry, his presence, and Toby, I think they've got to be able to stop Hunter Dickinson from getting post position. But I just, what was that? Was it Ballo that bullied Dickinson?
That was Coloco.
That's how long Hunter Dickinson has been in college.
Yeah,
like Coloco owned.
Yeah, and he was
Hunter
already
Dickinson.
like a junior at that point too. The guy's been around way too long. He's probably your age, Matt.
Yeah, I think he literally is. I mean, he's up there. You get the all retirement league. But Mike, I mean, here's a question: do you think Kansas? Look, they just played a tough game. Bill Self had to release a statement. I'm sure you saw about the harassment that one of their players was getting. Do you think that provides them at least a little bit of more of a kind of coming together moment? We're going to win for our teammates on Senior Day. We're going to win. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that provides them a little extra motivation.
Yeah, all right. We're going to get into some John Taylor. I very much like John Taylor, but he's wrong about Boswell. He's always pushing Boswell. We will not talk about Boswell. But there is some of that. Because honestly, also as a person in civilization, I don't understand why people like. Did you see those DMs? People are telling him to kill himself. They're
Horrible.
calling him they're calling him the N word, this or that. What's always interesting about those kind of dweebs that do that stuff too is that one guy that says kill yourself, he had his name up there. Like, some people are always like, oh, cancel culture. I have no problem canceling anybody that says something like that to a college kid, man. I mean, yeah. You mess with the paw, you get that glove, and you get out of your job. But
Yeah, just total losers, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's
it's sports, dude. It's like with Trey Townsend. Here's the thing that I always say. I don't think Trey Townsend's very good at basketball here at the U of A. But guess what? Trey Townsend also is, by all accounts, a good kid, and he's living a life that I'm not living. I am in my guest room. He is on a Division I Power 5 basketball team getting paid. It's good to be Trey Townsend, big picture. And guess what? Trey Townsend probably doesn't care what I have to say, and nor should he. Kansas, though, it's an interesting point, though, because you do worry about kind of the circling the wagons, this and that. Bill Self's a really good coach. I will say this, though. It's really weird seeing Bill Self throw out a roster that just looks overmatched physically and talent-wise. It looks like you throw in like you've got just a bunch of it's just not a good team. That's what's just so weird about it.
It's bizarre. I mean, bringing in AJ Store, paying money, $2 million to AJ Store, I believe, through NIL.
Yeah.
All the NIL money spent on Hunter Dickinson, not to mention guys like KJ Adams who are still there, and
Another
on paper,
10th year senior,
right? I mean, but there's a reason why they're the number one team, right? All the pieces are there, but I think in the portal era, this can happen, right?
Right.
Where you think you've got the puzzle pieces together, but you just don't, right?
Yeah.
And Bill Self is finding that out right now. The puzzle pieces don't exactly fit. Are they still a good team? Yes. Are they still dangerous? Yes. I think Arizona has the pieces to be able to compete with them and win. Just got to come out there and play hard.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is too? I think they really busted like AJ Store. That was the one that I think they were counting on kind of replacing Kevin McCullough and being that guy that, again, maybe not a first team All-American, but I think they certainly thought he was going to be a 15, 16 point per game guy, not a 4 to 5 point per game guy or whatever the case may be. I mean, he's barely playable for them. And I think that's the last thing that they thought when they were bringing him in. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I thought
the portal giveth and the portal taketh, right?
Yes.
And so when he left Wisconsin, who did Wisconsin get? The Tanji guy, right?
Tanji guy or whatever.
Tanji is legit. I mean, he played well against us, but man, he's going off for 30 points, and he might be better than when AJ Store was at Wisconsin. So he's
those Wisconsin putzes, they always get something there. I don't like it. But so that's the Kansas. Matt Rain, can I get you to go on record right now? Listen, nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter. Are you going to go with Arizona or Kansas? Go with it. Back the A.
Arizona by
nice.
2. I think it'll be close. I don't think that Iowa State game was tough, right? They're hitting every shot imaginable in the first half.
Right.
And man, that ending tonight against BYU, what a game. If you have not seen those highlights, definitely worth watching. I know that happened during our game. I think Arizona wins. And if they do, Mike, here's a question to you. What do they need to do to potentially move up to a 3 seed at the end of the Big 12 tournament? If they beat Kansas, can they move up to a 3 seed? Or do you think Arizona is really kind of locked in to that 4?
That's a great question, Matt. I believe that Arizona gets a 3 seed, but I'm going to answer this, and then I'm going to spin it right back to you.
Sure.
Yes. Allow me to take the 5th. I'm just kidding. I think if Arizona wins the Big 12 tournament, I think it's next to impossible not to give them a 3 at that point, because you would have beaten Kansas. You would have beaten Texas Tech and then Houston or whatever. I think it's impossible not to give you a 3 at that point. Now, let me ask you this, Matt Rain. If Arizona loses to Kansas, but then wins the Big 12 tournament, where do they end up?
It's definitely a 4 at a minimum. I think depending on how things shake out with the rest of the 3 seeds, it seems like Kentucky is the last 3 seed, and they're kind of hanging on to that by a thread based on the number of super high quality wins they have. So it's possible that wins over in the Big 12 tournament, wins over, I believe, either Baylor, Texas Tech, Houston, one of those teams, Iowa State. I think that could push Arizona up to a 3, but 4 for sure. Now, if Arizona loses against Kansas and then loses in their first game of the Big 12 tournament, depending on how other results shake out, I think Arizona could maybe be more of a 5 seed, but I don't know. It's really, really kind of tight in between, but I feel good about Arizona at least as a 4 seed right now.
I really want to get, if I'm a 4 seed though, I really want to get in the bracket wherever it's like Michigan State or Florida. I don't want anything to do with Duke or Auburn. No. By the way, why is there a Duke fan in here talking crap? Like, I don't get it. Like, what is it like? Fabian's a Jet. I mean, dude, I think Duke's the best team in the country. Like, we're not talking crap, dude. Like, I don't know. That's
right.
As the kids would say, cope. Rent free.
Cope, seethe, yeah. Mike, seethe.
Oh, is seethe? Is that a new? Oh, is that what they say?
You've never heard that? No, that's part of it. Seethe, cope, and seethe.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, cope and seethe.
Oh, there you go. You're learning.
That's sus, dude.
That is sus.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't understand, but the way this person said it too. Duke's winning the national championship. Okay, that's not a controversial opinion. Like they're
dude, they're the best team in the country.
Cooper Flagg is going to be an immediate all-star in the NBA potentially. Yeah. What are we doing? I don't.
Hey, real quick, Kobe L. Thiel, he's also one of my Gen Zers in here that gives me a lot of different stuff. He says, shrink. Is shrink a thing? Do you know what shrink is?
You know what?
Shrink
That's
means
the one.
Like go away, I think, or something.
It's shrink and.
What is it? Shrink and like
I don't know.
Kobe.
You know
Kobe,
what? I'm too old for this now, Mike. This is the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we need these right. You don't know basketball fully and evaluating talent. Thanks, Carter. Appreciate the kind words. Okay. Oh, how much to get this? A $10 super snap. Eddie Lynn. Oh, that's a great name. Eddie. Hey, look at Eddie's profile picture too. That is not somebody that I would want to mess with either. Eddie, we very much appreciate your money. How much to ban the Duke guy? I just don't understand why we are. I just don't understand why he's talking crap because I don't know that we ever said anything. But yes, I would root for Houston though against. Let's see. You guys would be talking poop in my Duke podcast the same way I am. No, I wouldn't go into your Duke podcast because I wouldn't care to. That's probably the best way that I could put that. Hey, let me ask you this. Let's get our last read out of the way. What else do we got in here? What else do we got in here, Cody? Talk to me. What else do we got? Maybe not. Okay.
That was it. We got everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Professionalism at its finest. Let's see here. Oh, lank. What does lank mean, Mr. I've heard that now from multiple people. Matt, come on.
Well, I'm not going to say the whole thing because I can't.
Naysayer. You can't say it's naysayers. I suppose.
Well, remember what this happened with Reese Davis on College Game Day last fall. I don't know if you remember this, but I think he was Ryan Williams, wide receiver for Alabama.
Yeah, he's good.
It was part of his thing. He was saying lank and
let a naysayer
know. Right.
Yeah, naysayer. I like yes.
You're right.
Yes,
you get the implication.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, that's yes.
What's your opinion on the Big 12 basketball this year? I wanted to get your take on that, Mr. Matt Ryan.
Big 12 basketball in general. I mean, I think it's a bit of a down year, right, comparatively to the last couple of years, but
it's a lot better than where we were,
dude. Oh my, not even. I mean, it's just night and day. I was so tired, Mike, of staying up till 11 p.m. to watch us play in front of 15 people at Haas Pavilion. And those stupid camera angles. If you know what I'm talking about, those stupid camber angles.
Yeah, from like up above where it's got like a guy's hat or something in front
50,000 feet in the air. What are we doing? Yes, I remember being, I remember being like 10 years old watching that and asking him, I was like, what is with the camera angles on the TV? I was so sick of that. So sick.
Yes.
Much better, much more competitive in the Big 12. I love it. It prepares the guys.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and I remember too, like Haas Pavilion or like Gill Coliseum. These things just reek of like old like grandpa like going in there with like his like Velcro sneakers, and there's like 4 people in there. Oh yeah, Cal is the bird's eye view. Yes, is Cal? What is Cal Haas Pavilion? I'm trying to remember. Cal's Haas, right? Yeah. Oh, just so. Worse. Yeah, just disgusting.
Because Stanford is Maples.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lute is my daddy says Oklahoma State has bad camera angles as well. Yes. Oh, do you remember that one where the guy's hat was in front of the screen the whole time? Like, get this guy off the stage. Boo. Yep. Boo this man. Okay. let's wrap this one up because Matt Rain, what time is it right there?
2:12 a.m. 2:12 a.m. Man, that's how
gosh,
much I'm back in the A here.
I was going to
here
say
on the
you're
East
back in
Coast.
the A, man. Hey, what do you think? Listen, John Button Salmon died backing the A. Matt Rain is staying up backing the A. He's doing his part. John Button Salmon is looking down, and he is happy with what you are doing.
I hope so, man.
Yes. I've been to Lane Allen, Land the man with the master plan, says, been to Gill, it's bad and feels like you're watching Hoosiers. I've been to Gill. I went there and, hey, get a load of this, show you how old I am. I went there in 1998 when I was a young buck. The year after Arizona won the national championship, Miles Simon made a game-winning shot, and I was like, ugh, this is disgusting being in here. Yes. All right, now, hey, let's get the merch link in here real quick. Cody James Martin, get the merch, back the merch, pay us. I almost said pay us. Give us your money. But we got good stuff too. All right, Matt, give us your breakdown though. Just kind of wrap this all up for what you saw out there.
Yeah, listen, it's a game where Arizona was going to win. I don't think that was ever in question. I know the lead was down to 3 points. It's a game Arizona, of course, had to win over ASU and them being down 2 of their really key big players. It's disappointing, Mike. We talked about it earlier in the show about Arizona's defensive effort, giving up 100 points at home to ASU. That's not great. Don't like that. But everything is in front of this team moving forward, right? You're going to go into the Big 12 tournament, probably as the 3 seed. You're going to go into the NCAA tournament, probably as a 4 seed. And then you just got to play ball, man. I mean, I with all of our regular season success, I'm at a point, Mike, where it's great, it's fun, but it's tourney time, man. It's March, and we got to turn it up and get some wins come March. And so that's my take. And it's bear down for life regardless.
You know what? Sometimes when you're in the presence of greatness and you're in the presence of an oratorical is not a word, an oratory genius, you let
like
that
you.
Yeah, no, like you, Matt Rain, like you. We will be voting for you, Matt Rain. We will not be voting for me. We'll be mocking me, and accordingly. Everybody in the chat, though, this is still sports. Like I said, Curious Skeet, when you guys get mad, when you're looking at the paw to meet the glove, make fun of me. I deserve it. Just make fun of me. Matt Rain, you are the man, though. We very much appreciate you. We'll have you on again. This has been very, very eventful. Very good work there, Matt Rain.
Appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and appreciate your years of friendship and bearing down together, man.
All right, we deserve it, man. All right, everybody in the chat, you guys are the best. We very much appreciate it. All the super snaps that came in. Yes, thanks for paying us. We appreciate you all. And Cody James Martin behind the scenes making this all happen. All right, TTFN, we'll be back with you tomorrow. You have been listening to the AZ12 podcast.